So, for the last few months, I failed to read a book that completely satisfied me. Surely there were some great books, some really good ones, some weak ones too, but nothing really hit the sweet spot. Until, of course, I laid my hands on this one, Purple Hibiscus by C. Ngozi Adichie, and this one is a cracker of a book. Every sentence, every page is filled with literary excellence, just complete bonkers. Just okay. So before I tell you more about the book, I should tell you the plot just a little bit. So this is set in Nigeria around the time of that military instability in that country, where multiple coups were happening without any democracy or autocracy bringing any stability there. So it's set in during that time, and this centers around two teenagers from a wealthy family, Kambili and Jaja. Their father Eugene is a very wealthy. He's a wealthy businessman. So he's really wealthy, and he's also a great donor. Like he's religious. He's deeply religious. He donates generously to the church, to the missions, for the schools, and well, all sorts of helping, non-profit organizations. So on the surface, it just looks such a great family, right? I mean, Kambili and Jaja, they're also devoutly religious, and they study a lot. They always come first. They study in exclusive missionary schools, but uh, oh, by this time you already know that something must be wrong, and actually it is. So Eugene, their father, though he looks on the surface to be this great guy, just a great entrepreneur who runs a liberal newspaper too, at home he's a religious fanatic, and he continuously, just cripplingly abuses his children and his wife. In fact, his wife has taken so much beating that she has turned into such a willing punching bag by now. Just she's always depressed, oppressed. Even Kambili and Jaja, they are really silent kids, always living in the fear of their father. If they, slip up during their religious activities or even in studies, they are going to get some rigorous punishments, which is not going to be pretty. So they're always living in fear, and yeah, it almost seems like this is supposed to go on forever until, of course, you just dies of old age. But suddenly, in the country, there is a upheaval. A military coup d'etat is happening. A new leader gets in, and this just completely alters the socio-political scenario, and their lives are affected by this too. Uh, Eugene's newspaper is targeted by the head of the state, and his business is also getting affected, and his behavior at home is getting worse with all that. He's under a lot of stress, and well, where to take that out? But relief does come. So his Eugene's sister Ifeoma, the auntie, she's a university professor, and she's pretty liberal. She's a widowed woman with three children, and she manages to convince Eugene to take her nephew and niece to her flat in Nsukka, and they spend some real good time there. In their family, they experience Kambili and just experience true freedom, laughter, and they broaden their minds quite a bit, and it starts to change them as the country is also changing in the background. So if I tell you anything more than that, then it would be a great spoiler. So let it be. Just read it. It's thoroughly enjoyable. I mean, I've got nothing more to say than other than the fact that this is a absolute breakout. Which is, I like the writing so much. It's wonderfully written. Like people whenever mention this book anywhere, they talk about themes like religious fanaticism, racism, African people's treatment in first world country, and feminism too. But they always fail to mention how greatly written it is, just by pure literary excellence. This is leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of books. Like, yeah, people have compared it with Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, but yeah, it's on its own merit. I think this is a great book. Of course, there's themes they discuss. You should be aware of that too, like racism, patriarchy, feminism. Yeah, I like the way it has been designed, this has been balanced quite nicely. Like the author has really balanced the way she never lost her eyes from the goal, that what she wanted to really express and how she wanted to balance the themes together. The characters are solid, the storyline is solid, and the timings are great. It's a very eventful book. Like you don't even get a chapter without something really exciting is happening there. Exhilarating reading. I love the characters. There are only just very few uh, shortcomings in this book. Like I almost couldn't find any. So yeah, it's just very enjoyable. What's even great is in if you live in India, this is a exclusive Indian subcontinental edition. So the price is crazy low. I mean, I would have really preferred if other publishers did adopt this technique too, but well, that's not happening anytime soon. So if you like this video, please share, like, share, and subscribe, and keep coming back for more.